Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching. Today, with the Academy Sports Coach 2024, I want to talk to you about a session that I've designed to work on creating pressure situations. So we have in New Jersey, we have playoff season coming up. A lot of a lot of stress on the players. We've played. Some teams have played up to 22 games. We've played 18. We don't have a county tournament, but we're allowed 18 in the tournament. We played one preseason game, and then we played tons and tons of games over the summer. So it's been a lot of our season. Thankfully, got extended this year. So playoffs, which were in October last year, are now been pushed to November 5th. And the season we got to start a little bit earlier, so it spread out the games, and we were able to give days off. But at this point, players are they're tired. They're starting to lose focus. They're starting to kind of break down. Some players that haven't been playing are like, do I really want to keep going with this? The season's still going, and I don't know how much time I'm going to get now that every game's going to be a big game. Some teams, lower seeds are, how do we really have a chance here? So I've seen upsets. You see these things happen all the time. But not with teams that are ready for it to end. So it's about keeping players mentally focused and keeping them wanting to go. And essentially, we're in the middle of the pack here. You're playing teams that are, not as good as you, better than you, or slightly worse than you, but they're all kind of around the same area. So the team that makes fewer mistakes, the team that's able to kind of keep their head longer, is definitely a team that's going to have an advantage. So we designed this session as kind of like a stress test for the players. Check in with them, but just mentally challenge them. To continue to operate. Now, it's not like too much technical stuff. It's not too much focused on we're developing some kind of tactic or something like that. But it's just about them staying focused in some of these moments they're going to see here. So we call this one the hurt locker. High school coach called it that. But it was just always something we really, really enjoyed doing because it's kind of it seems so simple, but it's fairly challenging, and we keep time with it, and players challenge themselves against former teams or another team or something like that. So in this session, what we did was we worked. This was our opening session for a few sessions before we had a break, and a few sessions going into the playoff game. So what we did here was we walked into our gym. We did a little bit of yoga, just some activation stuff. We gave them about 2 days off, just kind of rest, reset, focus. And we did a little bit of meditation to check in with our bodies and our minds. So yoga, meditation, we walked out here, all right, I'm hoping to stay focused. So in Hurt Locker, essentially what we do is one player in this grid passes that player one, and the player then will return the pass, one touch, and they have to follow their pass. So it's a simple passing line and a simple passing line on the other end. All right, so the rules are it's all one touch. If you two touch, the drill ends. If the balls collide or the ball hits another player that's running through, the drill ends. Players, when they run across, have to run within the grid. They can't run outside these cones. They have to run inside the cones. They can take an arc. They can run over. They can walk. They can run wherever they want to do. They don't have to play the ball fast. It's just the ball can't stop. There's an additional element we sometimes add where there's two balls on the there's a ball going around the outside, so the last person in line needs to play it around. But we just kind of simplified it for here. What I like to do during this drill is I have a playlist that's pretty infamous. The Hurt Locker playlist, and it's a crazy mix of songs. It's rap, it's rock, it's slow, it's fast. I think I have Feist on there, and then we'll have Leonard Skinner, and then we'll have super fast energetic songs from Friday Night Lights, and then we'll go Cheeseburger in Paradise, and just up and down tempo. And we're trying to say these are distractors. The high tempo. Hey, the game's going fast. I can go fast. Or the game's slow, but I still need to work hard. We're changing the tempo of the sound around us. We're creating stress. I have literally just one song called Stress. That's just the most stressful series of sounds just to pressure them. And in this session, we did two teams, and we did best of five, or first to five wins. So we had them go, and the first team to make a mistake lost, and the other team got a win. And we did that in 5 rounds. So again, a little bit of competition there, a little bit of challenge. It's a simple thing. You're just passing back and forth, all right? But I told them it's not a passing drill per se, although you're passing. It's a focus drill. They're having to scan, look left, look right, look where the other guys are, communicate, and really focus on what's going on. So to continue with that, we then move to competition here, where we moved inside the grid and made a rondo. Now, I probably had a few more players than 4, but I'm going to leave 4 in here just so you get the idea. And what we had was multi-ball rondo. So start with one ball, and we had 2 teams going at the same time. We started at the same time, and I said, all right, 30 seconds per ball. So 30 seconds, it's all one-touch passing. There's one ball in this grid. 30 seconds in, coach that was timing it put in another ball. So now it's 2 balls, and the rules are you can't pass. Now it's 4 here, but obviously in the game we had like about 15 guys. You can't pass the guy next to you. You can't pass the guy that passed to you. Same thing. Ball can't collide, and the ball can't go outside the circle, and the ball can't stop. So it's constant motion. So it's just like like when you go into science class and you see the atoms moving around like that. It's just that. 30 seconds, you got another ball. I had a team a couple years ago that we would go like to 7 ball, and just they found patterns that worked, and they were just continually moving the ball, and they kind of broke the system. At that point, I had to do something where I started adding coaching sticks in a grid, where they had to break 2 lines here. So it had to like break 2 parts of the window, so it could like come in a diagonal here, or it could go right through the middle, right through here, it could go through here. But forcing them to like not just play those short little passes and never actually really work and break things, because they got so good at it, they started figuring out those patterns, and it just became like they could do 2 hours of it pretty simply. So from there, we then moved to a conditioning drill, which we have a system in an area in our school where there's a hill, so they do push-ups on the end line of our freshman field. They run up the hill, they touch the building that we have, they run all the way down, they sprint the length of a half field, they sprint back 10 push-ups, and they keep doing that. So we did a couple hills, and the purpose wasn't like we're trying to make you run you, especially at this point of the season. Like they're pretty fit. We're trying to maintain certain things and keep a tempo, but the point was that we wanted them to be a little bit tired. We wanted them to be a little tired, and then we immediately got them to do a PK drill where, no, I'll put 2 on here, but we had our entire 30-man squad. We had a goalie, and we had players in push-up position. I've talked about this one before. I really enjoyed this. Players really enjoyed it. It was challenging. It put a lot of pressure on them to perform, but you had a player taking a PK. The players that were on the end line, they were in push-up position. If the player made their pen, the other players had to rest. They got out of push-up position. They could stand up. They could lay down, whatever they wanted to do, for 10 seconds. And while that was going on, that player went to the other end, and another player stepped up. If they missed, they had to do 10 push-ups while the next player went, or 5 push-ups while the next player went. So if you missed, it was kind of a string where we had a system like 6 guys missed in a row, and the guys were like, "We're gassed, dude. Someone's got to step up and make a pen." And it's just kind of like we talk about it not being fair. It's not fair that he missed a penalty and you have to do push-ups. But we can't really create the kind of pressure that's going to be in a do or die situation, especially in a playoff game, where you have seniors that this could be the last game. Who's going to step up and make their penalties? Who's going to be in that situation that's just going to be like, I can do this. You don't want to be the one that's your friends are mad at you. You're in this scenario. You hope that your players would help, pick each other up and recognize that penalties are, sometimes a crapshoot in a final game. But a lot of it is the mentality. So you don't want to be the guy that everyone's yelling, "Oh, come on, we don't do more push-ups." There's pressure there, and it's hard. It's something really hard to recreate in a game. So from here on, we went out. We did game situations. Now they're a little tired. They're mentally fatigued. They've been doing a lot, and now we're putting them in situations. We did 10 minutes of you're up 1-0. So this final 10 minutes, you're trying to kill out the game. Ball goes out. How are we setting up our free kicks? How are we setting? Who are we sending up on corners? Are we sending our center backs? Are we trying to go to the corner at this point? Is it too early to go to the corner? We did 10 minutes of we're down 1. We're sending extra defenders up to become forwards. We're subbing guys on and off. We're doing certain situations. We did one where we had a bad ref. We had a ref that was just kind of, angry and didn't want to be there and yelling at everybody, and made up that scenario. And, they were getting thrown off the field for certain things, and just trying to recreate as many scenarios as possible and getting them thinking, hey, you're trying to play this game, but there's a lot of other stuff that's going on. And the hope is that by doing that, when the players actually get in the game, it's all kind of, oh, I've been here before. I have this picture in my head. I've expanded my mind, opened my mind to be able to do these kind of things because we went under these stress tests. And that's how we ended the session. Sometimes we'll do an extra thing of PKs at the end with the 5 guys that want to take them and say a do or die situation. Try to kind of solidify that list, but for the most part, we just kind of finished off with some of those scenarios. So I'd love to hear some of the things you guys do to put that mental stress on your players, to test their ability to kind of go beyond that, beyond just like the game itself. I think it's something I really believe in that, like, it's a fun practice for them. It's getting away from the mundane of just constantly doing, different drills and doing different things, or we're doing the same drills and it's kind of getting repetitive. It's just kind of a different way. You're implementing soccer, but you're doing mind training as well. And I think it was really enjoyable. I'd like to hear some of the things you guys do for that. So once again, my name is Matt Carroll, World Class Coaching with the help of Academy Sports Coach 2024. I hope the session finds you well.